What's up, people? This is Teenage Girl 30 here, and this is a new video on my Live Life and Love 32 channel that's completely different from my other channel, my wrestling channel. And this video is pretty much about my overall thoughts and how I feel about the History Channel's depiction and their series of the Bible that is going on until Easter. I have to say that it is kind of unsettling to me. I actually had a chance to watch the beginnings. I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched the beginnings on up from when they briefly talked about Noah on up to Moses. The biggest problem that I had was the fact that they left out the story of Joseph. The story of Joseph, and this is how I feel. Lord, please forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is how I feel about it. I feel like the Joseph story was the biggest tie-in, the biggest connection between Moses and Abraham. And also from Moses, when they talked about the story of Abraham, they talked about the story of Isaac and how Isaac was named Israel, how God named him and how God renamed him to Israel. They did touch on that, but they did not. They probably had so much time to fit everything in. But Jacob and Esau, you would think that they would talk about Isaac's sons, Jacob and Esau, and then after Jacob and Esau, they would go to Joseph, and then from Joseph, they would go on to Moses. But they pretty much skipped out all of Joseph's story, and then they went straight on to Moses, because Moses is the most well-known story in Genesis, and they went on to that. From what I remember, and please, if I am wrong, and if you know the scripture, please leave a comment in the comment section below about it. But from what I remember, I thought that Moses's lineage his heritage was hidden from Pharaoh, because from what I remember, when during Joseph's time, the Hebrews were welcomed in Egypt, and they became fruitful and multiplied. But after Joseph's time and after the old Pharaoh's time came the new Pharaoh that knew nothing of Joseph, knew nothing of his lineage, knew nothing of the Hebrews living there. And he was afraid of how much the Hebrews were growing. So he made a decree to kill every Hebrew male child that was in the city. And Moses' mother put Moses in the Nile and to save his life, and he was discovered by the Pharaoh's daughter. Now, they did touch on that, but from when I actually watched the movie, for some reason they made it known that the Pharaoh knew, and I didn't think that the Pharaoh knew about his heritage. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment in the comment section below and school me, because I read it, but I could be wrong. I could have left something out. But I really feel that I wish they touched on the story of Joseph, because it was a huge connection between Abraham and Moses, and it actually did give you a better understanding on what happened to the Hebrews before they were enslaved. And I really wish they talked about that. But I felt like it was somewhat sensationalized, but I guess not sensationalized, but Hollywoodized a little bit. But I guess they have to do that in order to entertain people, maybe. But I'm not at all poo-pooing on what the History Channel did. I have to say that their depiction I have to say that for those that have not read the Bible, this could possibly be a way to get people interested in learning for themselves. So I'm not totally poo-pooing on it. That's why I'm not making this review. This is pretty much how I feel about it. This is like my overall thoughts. But I really wish that they talked about Joshua, because it was a huge story that connected between Abraham, Isaac, Esau, and Jacob, and also Moses, which led to, I think Moses was actually in Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers. He was in Genesis. I think it was in Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. Yeah, I think he was. And I really feel like that those were the time that Joseph was a really big tie. I just wish that they actually talked about the 4 books of Genesis. And I mean not the 4 books of the Old Testament. I really wish that they actually talked about that. But like I said, I am not poo-pooing at all on the way that they made the Bible. For those that actually are interested in reading the Bible, that after watching this, it is always a good thing to get people more interested in learning the word. If this is a means to get people interested in learning the word, and it actually helps people to be interested in learning the word, then I feel like it's the best press, the best way to go. But I mean, not the best way to go, but I feel like it is actually done its well. It's somewhat done its job. And but I want to hear what y'all's overall thoughts on this is. Leave your comments in the comment section below or send me a video response. I'm curious on how everyone feels about this because I know that this series is going to have a lot of mixed reviews between those that have read the Bible and for those that for those that haven't. So I know it's going to probably either have mixed reviews or the same reviews, but I'm curious on what you guys think about this. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.